Hey there, good morning. I'm John. Today is Monday, January 27th, 2025. It's a new week, a new entry in my daily vlog, where each morning I come in my studio, turn the lights and camera, talk about what I've been doing, what I'm doing next, and how it's going, trying to make content creation indefinitely sustainable. And it's a Monday, which these days means a lot to cover, so let's go ahead and get started talking about Friday, working our way through to today. So Friday, of course, released the Friday plays at 3 in the afternoon. What did I do? Now I've already forgot what it was. Oh, it was the Tron, Adventures of Tron. That guy got him released. He was a request. Somebody in the comments, actually somebody I know, Vincent Ferrari, suggested that in the comments, and I, in some other video somewhere, I have a spreadsheet that I keep. So I did the Adventures of Tron. A good Friday plays, man. That series has become a reliable performer. You know, they've been over 5K regularly over the last. I've just done a couple this year, but in the last few, the previous year, did really well. That one's done 6,600 views just since it was dropped on Friday. And still, they're evergreen. They continue to gain some traction. So with that out, I did, my goal Friday was to try to get out an editorial for Saturday, which I accomplished. So in the morning, I did some writing, I did the on-cam shoot, and I started a little editing. In the early afternoon, we had a call with Atari. I think I mentioned that. It was just kind of a touch base to talk about some of the new products coming out in this first half, the things we can look forward to, the things that I can plan to shoot and produce and do over the next few months. There was a lot going on with the guys I was talking to at Atari, so it was a little bit scatterbrained. We didn't get any solid plans in, but we got some advanced knowledge of some stuff that's coming with a follow-up in a couple of weeks. So I did get that editorial. Oh, by the way, I should tell you, Friday night I went and saw that horror movie, not a horror movie, that scary movie, Presence, again, because it was so good. What did we see Thursday? I went again and saw it Friday with some other friends. Yeah, it's still good. You should see it before someone spoils it for you, as I said before. So the editorial I did, and I got out for Saturday morning per my plan. It was a little slow getting started. I think I told you, trying to find the through line, where ultimately, as I started writing out from my outline to my writing, I found the through line and the structure. I'm very happy with it. I'm very proud of it. It hasn't done great. Since it dropped Saturday morning, it's done about 2,900 views, so kind of toward the bottom end of how things do. It is evergreen. It could get attention later, but I like those. I stopped doing those for a while, so doing new ones I can't expect to automatically do well, so we'll see how it does. Also, I made a blunder in that episode, that video, that I could have fixed and chose not to. We'll talk about that at the end of this video and tell you my rationale for that. Anyway, also then on Sunday, of course, George dropped his Bit by Bit news segment. That one, again, has done better than the previous one. Just overnight, it's done about 2,000 views. With that news, they typically continue to grow and get about in the middle of the pack. They do well. Happy to have that in the arsenal. Let's talk about stats. So, told you a lot to talk about today. We talked a little bit Friday about what we might do to enhance these stats, and I'm still. This is not the final form of the stats, but I decided to add what I'm doing right now, but add a little last 28 days chart to kind of give an idea of how the overall flow has been going the last month, but we continue to do the last 7 days as an average. So here's my little chart, as we talked about, and then over on the left-hand side, you'll see that there's this little bubble. Well, as it fills in, you're going to see the last 28 days chart. Stats in general, the last 7 days, down a little, 11.3 thousand views over the last 7 days and 121 subscribers over the last 7. But if you look at the 28 chart, you can see that giant hump 3 weeks ago. That's CES. That's how depressed and crushed the stats are elsewhere. That's how those are impacting my other visibility into my stats and the gauge as to where a video is doing well or not. So you can see it. So as that factors off the back end, the stats will, the chart will become less compressed, so we can see it a little better. But you can see kind of a general static run since I guess since we got back from CES. It's been pretty stable, though not large. Anyway, so we'll work on that and continue to evolve that a little bit. Let's talk about the overall subscriber count. We talked on Friday. We were at 77,004 in about 3/4. We went through 5, 6, 7. We're now at 77,800, and again about 3/4. So what is that, about 400 over the weekend? Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, so let's talk about today then. It's Monday, so first thing, once I get shaved and decent, I'll shoot the next episode of Retro Days celebrating yesteryear. Get that delivered before lunchtime. I have a thrift store find that I would like to work on. It's a really cool board game that I've been looking for kind of for a while, and it has a little bit of a craft project involved to fix something. I think I have a part coming in today that I ordered. I think all of that I can get done today. If I can't, I'm sure I can get it done for tomorrow afternoon, but I'd like to get it done for today, but I haven't shot a frame of it yet, but I have in my... It's a pretty simple thrift store find. Let's overview kind of thing and look at it. Yeah, I think it'll be fun. So I'm going to work on that today until I run out of day. At the end of the day, we have our team meeting every Monday evening, and at some point throughout the day, I'll do some podcast preparation because tomorrow morning is the live pod edit on Twitch. Okay. I promise you I'm going to talk about this mistake that I made in the editorial, and now I didn't notice it. I didn't make the mistake on purpose, but I was talking about prices and over the years, and compare prices to 1985, and I'm like, let's talk about a console that released in 1985, the Super Nintendo. Well, I was mistaken, of course. Just it's the NES released in '85. I think the Super Nintendo was 90 or 91. Anyway. It didn't damage the information I was giving. It was just an incorrect comparison of product. There are other products. NES is a suitable fit in. I could have done that. It's just when I initially searched it, I misread it, and then I didn't double check it never registered with me. Anyway, doesn't matter, really. But when I released it Friday evening for members, and I think it was Jeremiah, in fact, was the first to catch, hey, you know the SNES didn't release in '85. I'm like, oh, damn. So here I was Friday evening, and I'm like, I could make a quick fix and re-edit that and re-upload it before Saturday morning. I certainly could do that. What I decided to do, this is 20% because of laziness and 80% strategic. I wanted to see if maybe by having that, since it didn't damage the narrative, it was just a blip, that I would leave it in to try to mine it for engagement. Because one thing people love to do is to go, hey, you're wrong about this, it was this year, not this year, or it was this publisher, not this publisher. People love to tell you you're wrong, or maybe they like to tell you that they know more, or whatever it is. So I figured, hey, since it's not really damaging, I didn't make the mistake on purpose, that was a total goof, but I intentionally didn't fix it, even though I had an opportunity to see if maybe I can mine it for more comments, more people coming back to talk about it. I put a pinned comment that explained it, kind of thing. Well, I was very anxious, in fact. I'm like, oh no, is this going to be the only thing people talk about, this mistake? No. Here's what happened. Nobody cared. Really? A couple of people mentioned it was NES, not the SNES. A couple people had already seen the comment by the time that they replied, which I wasn't expecting. And it didn't garner any additional engagement. So my worry that it would become distracting, that was unfounded. And I think my thought that maybe having an error in there would generate a bunch of engagement, that was not right. So in the end, it's just a mistake in a video that's going to live there forever, and maybe it'll result in either somebody thinking I'm stupid, which is fine, or maybe somebody actually engaging and saying, you're wrong, which is fine. It was weird. In hindsight now, since it didn't do anything, I wish I would have fixed it, but I'm not going to fix it now, right? It's out there. It is what it is. Maybe in 5 years when I'm re-editing old videos, I'll think about fixing it, but that's not on my plan. Anyway, yeah. So just a little story to share with you. That was interesting. Ended up being an accident that became an experiment that became a null data. Nothing really came of it. So the things that happen, you never know. Okay. So I know what I'm doing for today. Gotta, as I said, get decent so I can come back in here and shoot and edit for Retro Days. Then I'll continue on with my day and see what I can accomplish. So I'm going to go ahead and thank you for popping in to check out today's vlog. If that's what you did, it's a new week. If you're here every day, you know, once again, I love you for being here. Thanks for making me a part of your day. I'm happy to have you here. Good to see you in the comments. Know that you're watching. Have a great Monday, a good start to your week. Don't you forget to do something good for yourself, because you know you deserve it. And I'll talk to you again next day. Bye-bye.